Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have one interesting discussion on the relative molecular mass in chemistry. So we should know to say that the relative molecular mass is the mass of a compound of one molecule of the compound of element compared to 1 over 12 the mass of carbon negative 12 isotope. As we know for sure that an isotope, this is simply a group of atoms having the similar atomic number but different mass number. So now that we have been taught to calculate the relative molecular mass of these atoms which are here, we need to understand one basic aspect. Remember, for you to calculate the relative molecular mass of hydrogen, hydrogen has a mass of 1 multiplied by 2 and this 2 which is outside. So 1 times 2 is basically 2 times 2 is basically 4. So that is the molecular mass of hydrogen. So B, we have to calculate the relative molecular mass of oxygen, and you know for sure that the mass of oxygen is basically 16 times 2 giving you 32. Then C, you are taught to calculate the relative molecular mass of water. So water is basically H2O, where you know for sure that you have 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. So the mass of hydrogen is basically 1 times 2 and that of oxygen is basically 16. So we know for sure that 2 plus 16 basically gives us 18, and we have 2 to be the motherboard this side. So we multiply 2 to that side and we get the relative molecular mass to be 36. Our D, we are taught to calculate the relative mass of calcium hydrogen carbonate. So for you to be able to calculate the relative molecular mass of calcium hydrogen carbonate, calcium on the periodic table is 40 and hydrogen is basically 1, governed with these 2, so we multiply by 2. Carbon has a mass of 12 times 2 and basically oxygen, so it will be 3 times 2 basically 6, and we say 16 times 6. So from here we know for sure that 1 times 2 is basically 2 plus 2 times 12 is basically 24. Lastly, we have 16 by 6, which is basically 96, and we add the rest. So sorry, here we made a mistake, it will be plus, so I can just counter check. 1 times 2 is basically 2, 2 times 12 24, 16 times 6 which is 96. So we add together 40 plus 2 plus 24 plus 96, you get the relative molecular mass to be 162. So this is how basically you calculate the relative molecular mass of the given molecules which are there. Your host, Golden Zulu.